नमस्सर्वेभ्यः सर्वेषां स्वागतं प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं करोमि। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओम् ॐ तत्सत्। अस्तु, अद्य वयं विसर्गसन्धेः प्रथमपाठं पठामः। अत्र विसर्गसन्धिः किञ्चित् भिन्नभिन्नरीत्या भवति, न तु अन्यत्र यथा प्रायः सन्धयः एकरीत्या सन्ति, अत्र तथा न। विसर्गस्य भिन्नभिन्नपरिवर्तनानि भवन्ति। तु तत्र उत्वं, लोपः, ऋत्वं, सत्वम् इत्यादि पश्यामः। तत्रापि सत्वम् इत्यत्र पुनः भेदाः स्युः। तु एतत् सर्वं जानीमः वयं। विसर्गसन्धिः। A visarga, in fact, in Panini's grammar, the visarga comes as an adesha. It is not already native in the letter set. If you remember our Maheshwara Sutras, the 14 Maheshwara Sutras, there is no mention of Anuswara, Visarga and all that, right? So they are all adeshas. We know how Anuswara comes from Anunasikas, Anuswara Sandhi, we get that, no? So we had Makara replaced with Anuswara, etc. It's one of the possibilities of arriving at Anuswara. Similarly, even Visarga, okay, comes in as an Adesha due to Paninian rules, not as a native letter already belonging in the Dhatu. So typically, you will find Sakaranta Dhatus and also Sakaranta Pratyayas, etc. Okay. Sakaranta Dhatu, I'm not too sure. Let me withdraw that. At least we see Sakaranta Pratyayas. Like for example, even the first Pratyaya, Sup, amongst the Sup Pratyayas, the Sup Pratyaya has a Sakaranta. Okay. And so in the Sump, the U and the P are it aksharas, which are deleted, only S remains. Halanta Skara remains. So Rama plus Sup, Ramas, that is how it starts. And then through the transformations of Panini, two formulas further apply. Sa is replaced with Repa and Repa is replaced with by Visarga. In fact, Panini calls Visarga as Visarjaniyaha. Visarjaniyaha. What does Visarjaniyaha means? That which should be expelled. So the name itself, Visarga, comes from Visarjaniyaha, that which should be expelled. That means the throwing out of the air, that sound. Okay, so beautifully named. Visarga is followed. A visarga is followed by a vowel or a consonant. Sorry, a visarga followed by a vowel or consonant undergoes change. That means pretty much under all combination conditions, vowel or consonant, there are changes afoot for visarga. Okay, this is known as visarga sandhi. There are four kinds. So what is the highlight here is, what is the important takeaway from this sentence is, though that is why actually Visarga Sandhi stands a little apart from Swara Sandhi and Vyanjana Sandhi. Swara Sandhi is between two Swaras. Vyanjana Sandhi typically is between two Vyanjanas. We have seen that so far. Visarga Sandhi is a standout. It is between Visarga and a vowel or a consonant. Okay, so that's why even in the Shastra, such as for example Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi and Siddhanta Kaumudi, etc., they name Visarga Sandhi and treat it as a separate classification, which they deal with after learning both the Swara Sandhi and Vyanjana Sandhis. Okay, so we can roughly look at it as part of Vyanjana Sandhi. Actually, we should not, because Visarga is like a little special guy that stands apart, and his Sandhis can be with vowel or consonant. And later on, you will see Visarga Sandhi in many places is reversal of the Visarga. That is non-appearance of the Visarga but retention of the previous forms from which it is derived. This is another aspect that is very important to know. It's a progressive action, and we get halted before we get to the point of applying the Visarga also. Okay, and we take off in a different direction due to the Sandhi. Okay. That may all have been a little heavy. Don't worry if you didn't completely appreciate all that complicated twists and turns I was trying to teach you. Don't worry. This is known as Visarga Sandhi. There are 4 kinds of Visarga Sandhi. Visarga is replaced by Ukara or Utvam, we can call it. Then Visarga elides. Elision in English is a very, very sophisticated term for disappearance. That's all. Elope, you guys are familiar with that. So elides, okay. So lopaha. So if you see elope comes from lopa of Sanskritam. See how nice. Anyway, Visarga is replaced by repha. Okay, that is one type. So rutvam or repaha, something like that you can call it. Okay, and Visarga is replaced by sakara. Okay, Sattvam. In fact, this one transforms to 3 variants: Sakara and Shakara and Shakara. Sakara is a Dantya. Okay, Dantya. Shakara is a Talavya from the front lower part and all that. Like the tongue touching the upper lower part in the front, Talavya. Sakara is generated by the tongue touching the teeth, Sakara. Shakara by little behind that. And then Shakara is from the backside, touching of the tongue to the backside upper portions and all that. Okay, Shakara. So a little bit more deeper. So Sa is coming closer to the pronunciation, closer to the tongue and the teeth. The Sh from little behind that, and Sh from all the way behind. Okay, so one is called Dantya, another is Talavya, another is Murdhanya. Okay, so that's how the variation of those 3 are. So here this Sakara, due to different associations, can end up becoming a Shakara or a Shakara later. Shtutva and Shtutva can ensue basically. If you go back to our Vyanjana Sandhis, Shtutva and Shtutva can ensue from Sakara. We know that, right? So it manifests sometimes as Sa, sometimes as Sh, sometimes as Sh. Okay. All right. So there are subclasses there. So this is the stuff. In fact, there is one more Visarga Sandhi, we can say number 5 is retention of the Visarga. You may call, why is it called Sandhi then if it is retained? The technicality is there that when it is retained, there is a variant of Visarjaniyaha called Upadmaniyaha or Jihva Muliyaha. There is something called Ardha Visarga, okay, which is called Jihva Mulya or Upadmaniya. Very technical in Paninian world, only Vedic Sanskritam very carefully follows all that, but that is there. So when we retain it also, though today to our simple brains to help us the font, we just use double dot, there are 2 more variations. Okay, and there are special symbols available in the written form to represent those variants. Okay, all right. We will probably touch that a little bit later. Okay, all right. So at the high level, enough to understand Uttva, Lopa, Rutva, and Sattva. Okay, Rutva also can be called as Repa. Remember, we don't use Rakara. Somehow technically people are hesitant to use Rakara. They use Repa only. Okay, as the reference to the Repa. I don't know how else to say. Okay, Visarga is replaced by Ukara is what we are going to look at today, the first one. Okay, so first as usual in the Samskrita Bharata Paddhatyanugunam vayam udaharanani drishtva ज्ञास्यामः. अद्य रामोऽपि आगतवान्. अद्य रामोऽपि आगतवान्. यद्यपि अत्र पूर्वरूप अवग्रहचिह्नमस्ति, तस्य उच्चारणं नास्ति. मुखे तस्य उच्चारणं नास्ति. रामोऽपि इत्येव वक्तव्यं. रामो अपि इति न, रामोऽपि इति. यदा अवग्रहचिह्नः अस्ति तस्य उच्चारणं नास्ति. लेखने तद् दृश्यते. अत्र तु न केवलं रामः इत्यस्य रामो इति अभवत्, अपि च अपि इति शब्दस्य पि इत्येव शिष्यते, अकारस्य लोपः अपि दृश्यते। लेखने तु लुप्त अकारम् अवग्रहचिह्नेन लिखामः, परन्तु उच्चारणे रामोऽपि इत्येव अस्ति। सो अद्य रामोऽपि आगतवान्। वत्स अर्थात् हे वत्स, बालोऽसि त्वं, बालः असि त्वं, बालोऽसि त्वं, पुनः तथैव उत्वं तदनन्तरं पूर्वरूपसन्धिः। देवोऽवतु सर्वान्, देवः अवतु सर्वान्, देवोऽवतु सर्वान्। अत्र किमस्ति? अपि इति अस्ति, असि इति अस्ति, अवतु इति अस्ति। तु सर्वत्र विसर्जनीयस्य पार्श्वे अकारः दृश्यते। सन्धेः सन्धिकार्यात् पूर्वं रामः अपि, बालः असि, देवः अवतु इत्यादि अकार उच्चारणमेव दृश्यते। तत् मनसि स्थापनीयम्। तो पुनः अवतु इत्यस्य अर्थः अस्ति रक्षतु इति। अवतु माम्, अवतु मन्त्रमस्ति किल, अवतु माम्, अवतु समथिङ्ग् समथिङ्ग् अस्ति। धनिको गच्छत् स्वग्रामं, धनिकः अगच्छत् स्वग्रामं। So the rich man went to his town. Okay. जनैः धर्मोपाल्यत, जनैः धर्मः अपाल्यत, पाल्यते इति आत्मनेपदी धातुः अस्ति। पालनम् इत्यस्य आत्मनेपदी धातुरूपम्, अतः अपाल्यत इति लङ्गि रूपं, न तु अपाल्यत् इति, अपाल्यत इति। तो लटि अपि पाल्यते, पाल्येते, पाल्यन्ते इत्यादि। बालो धावति वेगेन, बालः धावति वेगेन, अत्रापि उत्वमस्ति, किञ्चित् भिन्नम्। एतावत् पर्यन्तं ह्रस्व अकारः दृष्टः, अपि, असि, अवतु, अगच्छत्, अपाल्यत इत्यादि शब्देषु। अत्र तु धावति इत्यत्र धकारः मृदुव्यञ्जन महाप्राणः स्यात्, परन्तु तद् मृदुव्यञ्जनः, वर्गचतुर्थस्तम्भे तदस्ति इति कृत्वा मृदुत्वं वर्तते तस्य। तु यत्र मृदुत्वम् अस्ति तत्रापि उत्वं भवितुं शक्यते इति एतेन ज्ञायते। बालो धावति वेगेन, अत्र तु पूर्वरूपसन्धेः अवकाशः नास्ति, यतः अत्र ह्रस्व अकारः नास्ति इति कृत्वा पूर्वरूपसन्धिः नास्ति। अस्तु, सेवको वस्तूनि आनयत्, सेवकः वस्तूनि, वकारः तु अवर्गीयव्यञ्जनेषु वर्तते, हयवर इत्यत्र, परन्तु तस्यापि मृदुत्वं वर्तते। मृदुत्वं वर्तते इति कृत्वा तस्य पार्श्वे सत्यपि उत्वं भवितुं शक्यते। तु मृदुव्यञ्जनं स्यात्, वर्गीयस्य अवर्गीयस्य इति अपि ज्ञातुं शक्नुमः। सेवको वस्तूनि आनयत्, अनयत् इति लङ् रूपम्। So the servant many items he brought. He took. He took. Nayat, anayat, lang. It is not anayat. अध्यापको गीतं पाठयति, अध्यापकः गीतं पाठयति, पुनः मृदुव्यञ्जन गकारः, तत्र धकारः आसीत्, अत्र गकारः, तदपि वर्गतृतीय, तद् धकारः तु वर्गचतुर्थः आसीत्, क्षम्यतां, मया तृतीयः इति उक्तं स्यात्, तत् दोषाय। वर्गतृतीयः अस्ति गकारः, क ख ग इति, वर्गतृतीयः अपि मृदुव्यञ्जनं, केवलं वर्गप्रथमः वर्गद्वितीयः, प्रथमस्तम्भः द्वितीयस्तम्भः एव कर्कशः इति जानीमः, तथा कर्कशः नास्ति इति कृत्वा अत्रापि उत्वं भवति। अध्यापकः गीतं पाठयति, अध्यापको गीतं पाठयति, द टीचर द song he teaches. Bhagavad Geetam, if it was Bhagavad Gita, it would have been Geetam. So this is just a song. Okay. अद्य अष्टमो दिनाङ्कः, न तु साक्षात् अद्य, अद्य अष्टमो दिनाङ्कः. टुडे इस् द 8th डे. ओके, द थ द वर्गतृतीयः मृदुव्यञ्जनः, अतः उत्वं भवितुम् अर्हति. अष्टमो दिनाङ्कः. विसर्गस्य अकारो भवति. अत्र किमर्थम् अकारः भवति विसर्गस्य तद् न जानामि. शुद्धं वा उकारो भवति इति स्यात्. अत्र उकारो इति स्यात्, टङ्कणदोषात् अकारो इति सूचितमस्ति. विसर्गस्य कदापि अकारः न श्रूयते. यथा मम ज्ञाने अस्ति, तत्र अकारः भवितुं नार्हति विसर्गः, उकारः भवितुम् अर्हति. तु प्रायः तत्र टङ्कणदोषः इति स्वीकृत्य विसर्गस्य उकारो भवति. अत्र सन्धिः कुत्र इति प्रश्ने सति अत्र उकारः इत्यस्य उकारो इति उत्वं तत्रैव दृश्यते. उकारः इत्यस्य अन्ते एव उत्वं दृश्यते. स्ट्रेंज सेंटेंस, नाइस वन. सो भवति. सो बकारः महाप्राणः स्यादपि मृदुव्यञ्जनः वर्गचतुर्थः इति उक्त्वा तत्र मृदुत्वं वर्तते एव. तु एवं यत्र विसर्जनीयः अथवा विसर्गः विसर्गस्य परे अकारः वा अथवा ह्रस्व अकारः वा अथवा मृदुव्यञ्जनं वा वर्तते, तदा उत्वं भवितुम् अर्हति इति उदाहरणानि दृष्ट्वा वयं वक्तुं शक्नुमः. परन्तु साक्षात् तथैव वा इति तत्र नियमान् दृष्ट्वा ज्ञास्यामः. So I am going a little more heavy on Sanskritam today. I hope you guys are picking up by now. So visargasya utvam. In the examples above, visarga is replaced by the letter U, rule. Anybody who is having difficulty, tell me, alert me, then I won't go on and on in Sanskritam.
Sir, may I submit something?
Janaihi dharmo apalayat. Apalayat means followed, sir. Followed?
Yes, palana means to follow, no? To maintain a rule. So apalayat is lung of palana only.
Okay.
By the people. The dharma was followed. Like Mahodaya, Anup Mahodaya, you had something to say?
Yes, sir. A small question. I'm not too sure if you can repeat a little bit. First rule is replaced by ukar, right? And I know you mentioned something about number 10, the akaro bhavati.
Ukaro
you said
bhavati.
Something, but it
yeah, I will explain. I'll explain.
Thank you.
See, the sentence examples is example syntactically nothing wrong. It is a perfect sentence. Visargasya akaraha bhavati. But visargasya akaraha kadapi na bhavati. Satyam na tat. Asatyam. Visargasya ukaraha bhavati iti tu satyam. Janimah. Idanim tasya vishaye eva patanam vartate asmakam. We are studying the very fact that visarga can become ukara in sandhi. So visargasya akara will not happen. So what I told was there is a tankana dosha. Okay, it should be visargasya ukaro bhavati, and then that sentence has actually that very same visarga to ukara conversion in ukaro, because bhakara is a mrudu vyanjana. This visarga ukaraha has changed to ukaro. And next is everywhere we are saying it is replaced by ukara. Everywhere we are seeing okara. The next question comes is why okara? That is going to be explained next. Okay, just be patient. The first replacement is ukara. So then there is a guna sandhi that is happening to make it okara. Okay, so that we will see. It is very obvious. Okay, in the examples. Dhanyavad Havarya.
Add one na to it. That's enough. Visargasya akaro na bhavati. The sentence will become.
Yeah, but then what you have to remember, Varya, is whether nakara tatha dadha na varga panchama mrudu vyanjana, correct, then also it could happen, na bhavati. But you have to be careful whether nakara changes the sandhi rules. That's all. Okay,
it's a typo.
It's a typo. Ukaro bhavati. A visarga preceded by hrasva. This is another thing. Today I was listening to Dr. Vishwaswarya's Shuddhi Kaumudi lectures, many of us are having problem with this hris. We pronounce it as hrisva, hrisva, hrisva. Actually, it is harasva, hakara repa. Okay, hakara repa, hrasva, hrasva akara. Even I am very, very culpable. I keep saying hrisva, hrisva, hrisva. It is not hakara with swara. It is hakara with repa vyanjana. Okay, so it is a repa akara, hrasva. Okay, dirgha hrasva. That's how we should go. Most of us make that mistake, especially in South. Okay, hrasva akara. So a visarga preceded, we had never noticed this, you see. This is the additional qualifier for this sandhi, preceded by hrasva akara. So let's go back and study. Ramaha, yeah, aha is there, hrasva akara. Balaha, akara is there, aha. Devaha, aha. Dhanikaha, aha. Dharmaha, aha. Balaha, aha. Sevakaha, aha. Adhyapakaha, aha. Ashtamaha, aha. Akaraha, aha. Athva ukaraha, aha. So all these examples clearly had a hrisva akara before the visarga. So this sandhi is a little more involved than the others. It has a more far-field influence. Not only you should look at what is to the immediate right side neighborhood of the visarga, you should be influenced by what is there before the visarga, what swara is there. So here the swara that is there is hrasva akara. See, hrasva akara. So because all of them have hrasva akara before the visarga, that is when we can possibly look for a utva. So the first condition preceded by a hrasva akara is the first condition, left side condition. Okay, that hrasva akara remains in place and becomes utva due to utva a guna and all that. That is a later part, but it should be there before the sandhi karya and followed. So this is the postfix nimitta, the desired condition after the visarga. So followed by either a hrasva akara or a mrudu vyanjanam. So far we saw only hrasva akaras for the first so many. Api, asi, avatu, agachat, apalyata. We never saw a iti, something, ye something, nothing. All of them were hrasva akara. So invariably, that's why they have all become avagraha. So we cannot accept any swara. Only hrasva akara can be allowed for a utva. That is the one of the post conditions, postfix conditions. The other postfix condition is or a mrudu vyanjanam, which we noticed. Dhakara, gakara, dakara, bhakara, vakara, etc. We have noticed both from vargiya and avargiya. The mrudu vyanjanas we have noticed. Okay, so we have to now see there are three conditions. Two of them are this or that, and one of them is a must. It's a prefix condition. One of two postfix conditions, then the visarga can be replaced by ukara. Okay, very nice. The third, the fourth, and the fifth syllables of each varga, that is what we saw. Third, fourth, and fifth column basically. If you look at it as a row of 5 by 5, then additionally ya, ra, la, va, ha. So sha, sa, sh are removed. So if you remember the avargiya vyanjana, we had ya, ra, la, va, sh, sa, ha. So the last ha comes back as a mrudu vyanjana. Okay, but in between the so-called ushmanas or the heaty sounds, the sakara, shakara, and shakara, they are out of purview for mrudu. They are karkasha because they very much have that heat pressed flow. But hakara is a little arguable. We can say hakara also has a hot air flow. That is not preventing it from being mrudu. It is a ucharita shabda. It has a voicing. So because it is voiced, it is a soft consonant. Okay, whereas sh are not called voiced. If you go back to Vyoma Labs chart of Soumya Bhagini that I shared as PDF, you will see this classification very clearly. Yara, Lavaha. These are Mrudu Vyanjanani. So remember this. Varga Tritiya, Chaturtha, Panchama, Apicha, Yara, Lavaha. Mrudu Vyanjanani. Udaharanam, Ramaha api, Rama, H api, then H is replaced by U. Rama U api. Now what happens? A plus U. Guna Sandhi is allowed. So Visarga replacement formula does not prevent a further guna from happening after itself. Okay. So it is open for Guna Sandhi. So Ramo api happens. Okay. And further, because of the O influence, Akara can be replaced with Purva Rupa. That is Purva Rupa Sandhi can take place further. We get the form Ramopi. So when we look at Ramopi, there are technically three sandhis. One is Visargasya Utvam, Uka Akara Ukarayoho Gunaha, Tadanantaram O iti Akshare Sati Akarasya Lopaha, Purva Rupa Sandhihi. Evam. Okay, why it is called Purva Rupa? Because Akara elides retaining only the previous Okara in pronunciation. That's why it's called Purva Rupa. Purvasya eva Rupaha Shishyate, Aparasya na iti. Astu. Similarly, it's a Lopa Sandhi. Purva Rupa Sandhi is a Lopa Sandhi. Not the Lopa of the Visarga, it is the Lopa of the Akara. Remember, okay. Similarly, the Sandhi Bhalopi Devovatu Dhaniko Gachat, etc. and Dharmopalyata should be split in a similar manner. All right. Any doubts so far?
So, but in the exam, if they ask, we have to write all the three sandhis, sir?
No. You write Visarga Purva Rupa is enough. You don't have to point out the Visarga Sandhi Utvam and then you write Purva Rupa Sandhi. Okay, both those you list. Utva and then followed by Guna is standard pretty much.
Okay.
So we look at Utva as a combination of Visarga with U followed by a Okara. Okay, because Utva can happen only after an Akara. Akara is standard. No, we saw that. Hrasva Akara is standard. And A plus U always becomes Guna. O.
Okay.
So it is so inevitable that if you mention, that is good for you. Now that you have learned well, you can mention. Lakshmi Kumar Varye, you have a question?
Sir, just in a lighter vein, this 10th sentence, can we say Visargasya Akaro Bhavati iti Vakyam Ashuddham? Like in the past, we saw some sentences were in context. So
correct.
probably
Correct.
we don't take it as a typo.
No. Here, when they give an example, they didn't mean to give Asatya Vakya. Normally, they don't want to give Ashuddha Vakya. I think somewhere some Tankana dosha has led to that. But it is good. It keeps us awake, you see, in the class. If we become blind, then we are not awake. Then we should look for the right. Here they are teaching it becomes Ukara, and then it says the sentence says Akara. So there is a clear what you call. Maybe they are playing with us. Let us think like that.
Okay.
Good, Bhagini.
Excuse me, sir.
Can
you explain Purva Rupa Sandhi again?
Purva Rupa Sandhi, there is a replacement of the elision of the Akara when it is preceded by O or A, like that. There are two options, I think, if I remember right. Okay. So the Akara elides. That's what it is about. It is there in Parichaya Pustakam. So just open that section and go through that again. It will help you.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, Purva Rupa Sandhi also happens in the places where what you call that Yanta Vanta can happen. It is like an apavada to Yanta Vanta. Only for Hrisva Akara. Okay. Only when there is a Hrisva Akara preceded by A or O, then instead of Yanta Vanta, Purva Rupa takes place. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I think Lakshmi Varya has asked her question. I will lower her hand, otherwise I get confused. Okay. All right. So next section. What is the next example? They have given an example of a variation, right? So far we have seen Utva with the Akara becoming Purva Rupa. They have shown the non-Purva Rupa variants. That happens when there is a Mrudu Vyanjana, obviously, instead of a Hrisva Akara in the postfix position. So Balah Dhavati, Bala Dhavati, Bala U Dhavati, A plus U Guna. Guna still happens, but there is no Purva Rupa. Balo Dhavati. Okay. Now you may ask, what is this Avasana still doing? Okay. This Avasana is just a visual aid. If you write it as Balo Dhavati as one continuum without this Avasana, nothing wrong. Balo Dhavati. Okay. Avasana is just a convenience there. Okay. Even between lo, dha, there will be a subtle gap, right? Even in within a word ba, lo, there is a set. We don't completely merge it off. So that much is enough here also, if you wish. Same with this Purva Rupa also. In fact, there is no space there. The way the font is, when you write Avagraha, there appears to be a small gap because the Avagraha Chinha misses that top line, right? So, but actually it is right next. There is no. But if you write it with a bit of space also, it is not a disaster. But generally no space. Okay. And but generally with a Mrudu Vyanjana, in the Tankana Paddhati, we seem to maintain a space just to separate out. But Ashtamo Dinankaha can be together also. Okay.
Sir, is this a vikalpa then? We can say Adya Ramaha api agatavan. So is this whole Visarga Sandhi also a vikalpa?
Optional, correct. Sandhi always, very good point. Sandhi itself is your vivaksha. Okay. You can completely not force yourself to carry out the sandhi. You can keep this as Adya Ramaha api agatavan. Nothing wrong. Okay. But as we become prouda, they teach us not to avoid sandhis.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, that's all. Kavis especially don't like avoiding sandhis. Kavis, they want to use the sandhis. Okay, yeah. Next one, Balah Dhavati. So Balo Dhavati. Similarly, Sevako Vastuni, Adhyapako Geetam, Ashtamo Dinankaha. Oh, it is not a Tankana dosha. Funny. Akaro Bhavati. I think they are playing with us. Let us give some happiness to the person who wrote. You students find out what I am saying wrong. Okay. All right. Some more examples. Mokshaha asti, mokshosti. So again, aha and a. So o with the Purva Rupa, mokshosti. So that means mukti is there. Our release is there from this samsara. Yuyudhanaha virataha. Oh, it's from Bhagavad Gita. Yuyudhano viratascha. Shutvam also is there after that. Shakara and all. Okay, so that is that. Tumulaha abhavat. Another Bhagavad Gita. Tumulo bhavat. We just read it, I think, just a day or so back. So Tumulo bhavat. Kunti putraha yudhishtiraha. We have seen this also probably. Kunti putro yudhishtiraha. So another place, Yakara is coming into play. Okay, very nice example. Vakara there, and then two Purva Rupa akaras, Hrisva akaras. Drishtadyumnaha virataha. Okay, again Vakara is at a Drishtadyumno viratah. And another thing about this swara ri. Okay, just let me mute. Yeah, this swara, this ri that is there, right? This actually the pronunciation of the swara r is somewhere between how we in South maul it as ru. In South we make it ru. In the North they make it ri. Okay, according to Vedic pronunciation, of course, Shakha-wise variations will be there. According to Vedic pronunciation, R is neither between Ru or Ri. It is not Ru, it is not Ri, it is R. That's why it's a Swara. It's an in-between new sound. Okay, Ru is basically Repa with U. Ri is Repa with E. Okay, so there is nothing new there. So R is a new swara which is neither Repa with U or Repa with E. It is an independent new swara sound. Hras, Hriswaha, Hruswahana, Hriswahana, Hriswaha, somewhere in between. Okay, I hope you got it. Somewhere between U and E is that pronunciation. Okay, Hriswaha. Okay. Actually,
Sir,
again,
you said
I should
it's
not use
Hraswaha.
Hriswaha. I should not use Hriswaha as the example. Again, remember, Hraswaha is that is Repa. Okay, so I should have used this example. Whatever was the example, Drishta, Drishta, not Drushta, not Drishta, Drishta, Drishta. Hrishikeshaha. Thank you. Below it is there. Hrishikesha, Hakara with R. Okay, Swara R. So Hrishikeshaha, not Hurushikeshaha, not Hrishikeshaha. Okay, but little bit of E sound may emerge due to the influence of that E that occurs later. Hrishikeshaha, but Hrishikeshaha, not Hrishikeshaha, not Hrushikeshaha. Okay.
So Krishna also, no?
Krishna
Yeah,
also.
I was about to tell. My name is
Correct.
Krishnan. So people still call me Krishnan. Some people call me Krishnan.
Some people they say Krishna. Krishna is correct.
Krishna, Krishna. Neither Krishna nor Krishna. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
In Tamil and Malayalam, generally we say kru only. We don't say kru.
Good, good.
In Gujarat, you say Krishna only. Bala Krishnan, my husband, poor man.
Oh, poor man.
Krishna, they never write Krishna. They write Krishnan.
Okay. He's a rich man, Bhagini. He has, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so let us read the sandhis now. We'll move away from r to understand the sandhis first. Mokshosti yuyudano viratah tumulo bhavat kunti putro yudhishthirah. Here there is no, it's this thing, Purva Rupa. Drishtadyumno viratah. Drishtadyumno viratah. Drupadah. Here Repa, you see? Drupadah. There is no confusion. D Repa U. Drupadah. There is no swara r here. Okay. Drupadah, Draupadeyah. Again Repa only. Draupadeyah. So Drupado, Draupadeyah. Deyah. Shamitam. His offsprings. Ghoshah Dhartha Rashtranam. So Gosho Dhartha Rashtranam. This also we saw. Then we have seen Utva like anything, of course, nothing new. We have seen Visarga Utva endlessly so far. Hrishikeshaha Devadattam. Hrishikesho Devadattam. Though I told you a lot about proper pronunciation, believe me, as I am also part of the southern groups, I make mistakes also. Okay. It's one thing to know theory, another thing to put it in practice. All the above examples are chosen from Bhagavad Gita. Oh, thank you. The same method is followed in the coming lessons too. Nice. So some abhyasa for all of us. Okay. Devaha asti. Very easy, guys. So what you guys need to say is quickly pronounce and say what sandhis are there. Okay.
Devosti.
Devosti. What sandhis?
Visarga
and Purva Rupa. Yeah. So Visarga Sandhi Utva and Purva Rupa. Both are there. Okay. So that's why I put easy peasy lemon squeezy. These are all easy because we know everything is Utva. Only variation is there is a elision of Akara into Avagraha or what it is. You can very easily make out elision. Ra no, da no, ha no, dha no, ba no. So it's a game. So let me speed it up for you guys. Sanjayo Vadat. So again, Purva Rupa.
Sanjayo Vadat.
Nrupaha apalayat.
Nrupopalayat.
Nrupopalayat. So I have not named it. You guys see, whenever you see the yes, you know there is a Purva Rupa. Pratamaha Ankaha.
Pratamonkah.
Pratamonkah. First marks. Okay. Tritiyaha Adhyayah.
Tritiyodhyayah.
Tritiyodhyayah. Dharmah Rakshati.
Dharmo
Dharmo rakshati.
This is a famous verse. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. Something like that. Rakshitah Dharmah Rakshati. Beautiful verse that is. Only when the dharma that is protected will protect us. Hashtag is coming. Mute everyone. You can unmute yourselves again to answer. Avakashah diyate.
Avakasho diyate.
Avakasho diyate. No, Purva Rupa. Ramah Harihi.
Ramo Harihi.
See, normally Ramah Harihi, some dvandva will think, some dvandva. So, but that is a samasa prakriya. Here it is simply a sandhi question. Okay. So that samasa is Ramah cha, Harihi cha, Rama Haryau, Harihi, Hari, Rama Harihi, something like that. Okay. That we will not go into that. Okay. Here you just have to do the sandhi. So Ramo Harihi. Hakara allows a aha is there. So we are ripe for Utva. So Ramo Harihi. Stitah Dharmarajah.
Sthito Dharmarajah.
Uttamah Balakah.
Uttamo Balakah.
So point out the three sandhis, Ukarah, Gunah, Bhagini. Point out the three sandhis, Ukarah, Gunaha and Purva Rupam, as you have seen in Ramopi in the following examples. So guys, this is again, it's as easy as this monkey, what it is doing, eating a banana. So we can kind of skip over this. So Devaha Avatu, Devaha U Avatu, and then Devaha Deva U Avatu, sorry, like that. Okay, I'll open one. Deva U Avatu, Devo Avatu, and then show the elision, just like they have done. So this is a game. Okay, so it's very easy. So I will not waste you guys time too much.
The first one will be Devaha, no?
No, Deva U Avatu. Already I replaced the Visarga.
Oh, okay.
Like they showed in the examples, Bhagini. Technically, you can show a fourth step where you separate Deva with Visarga and then Avatu.
Okay.
You can show a fourth step in the beginning, or a zeroth step, let me call it. Zeroth step and then go like they did earlier. But they skipped showing that Visarga separated and directly went for substitutions. Okay?
Fine.
So, Uttva, Guna, Purva Rupa. One statement for each sandhi basically. Okay? All right. So, we can move over.
Sir, only when we have Purva Rupa Sandhi, we show it as one word. Otherwise, we show it as two words with a space.
Generally, that's what we were discussing. Generally, the Uttva, we show it with elided avagraha. Then we don't see this font that I used has very little space. So it's very clear that it is together. The font that they used, you see little more space is visible. But like I told you, no. Here also technically you can kill the space if you wish. Drishtadimno Viratah, like that. Okay. But generally the practice is to, after the Uttva, when there is a non-elision, to maintain one avasana. Okay. It's more a practice. In fact, if you take very old granthas, the Tadapatra granthas, very old. Okay. In the very initial days of using Devanagari Lipi, avasana was not there at all. Like that they used to write. Okay. Your panditya you have to use to know to break the words also. Which one is first word, which one is second word, like that. Okay. They were saying, what? That is very obvious. Why should I keep a space? Everybody knows this is a word, this is another word. Because they were all panditas. Okay. So they said, what is obvious? Why should I put space like that? Why you waste the Tadapatram?
The space is called avasana, sir.
Avasana. Yeah, avasana. Okay, let's move forward. So Laukika Nyaya. Arundhati Pradarshana Nyaya. Oh, this is all of us have undergone this. In the sense, at least our wives have. For those of us who are men here. Laukika Nyaya. So, two more today. Arundhati Pradarshana Nyaya. Arundhati is a very faint star next to Vasishta. Okay. So pradarshana is showing. Nyaya is that kind of process. Nyaya, don't take it as a rule here. Take it as a process. The process of showing Arundhati. That is the Nyaya here. Okay. During wedding, the bride is shown the star Arundhati. Arundhati is a small star beside Vasishta in the Saptarishi Mandala. If you guys know, if you see the north sky in the night, okay, in some of the months when the Saptarishi is above the horizon for us, otherwise it could have rotated very close to the horizon, so we may not see it. But in most of the year, you will see the Saptarishi Mandala. The Saptarishi Mandala's last two stars, that is this Vasishta and Bhrigu, if you draw a line, okay, it will join the pole star roughly. Okay, so the way to identify the pole star is with this Saptarishi Mandala called Big Ben. If you guys know English constellation name, this is called Big Ben, Big Dipper. Many names like that are there for that. So Big Dipper is very easy to identify in the northern sky. Tuck like that, you will immediately see it. Okay, there is a small dipper. Don't get confused. There is a Big Dipper. So Big Dipper, if you take the last two tail stars, which is like a kite. Okay, so the last two tail stars, if you take a line, you will locate Dhruva Nakshatra very easily. That's how we are taught to teach, taught to learn how to point to Dhruva. Because you have to stare for a long time to know it is Dhruva. We need delay photography. Anyway, so all these other stars are apparently rotating around the Dhruva. Okay, if you keep delayed shots, even for 5 minutes, if you give slow exposure, you will see all of these stars will become circular lines around the Dhruva Nakshatra, right? So that is because Earth is rotating. I guess I don't need to teach it. These stars are not rotating around Dhruva. So anyway, this Vasishta is very easily picked up as part of the Saptarishi Mandala. Then right next to it, in a very night, dark, cloudless sky, you can definitely look for Arundhati right next to Dhruva. So the mechanism of pointing out Arundhati is to come to the focus of the Big Dipper, which is easy in the northern sky, and then look for the Vasishta and then point to Arundhati. So Arundhati is a small star beside Vasishta in the Saptarishi Mandala. So they point to Vasishta star, which is big and noticeable first, and then show the small one by its side as Arundhati. In fact, they start off first with a look at that branch of the tree, then look up, then you see that kite-like formation like that and all. But anyway, but none of this happens nowadays. All our South Indian marriages happen during daytime. So who is looking for Arundhati there? It's just a fake thing that the priest does. Anyway, but he religiously takes the groom and the bride outside and all that. That still happens in some places. Thus, a teacher teach. Huh?
Can I just say, add something here?
Sure, Bhagini.
Actually, Vasishta and Arundhati, we are shown during a marriage, we are shown those stars because they are the only stars that rotate around each other, sir. They follow each other as a circle.
Binary stars.
Yes. So when a newly married couple, they say we should be complementary to each other. We should, like that is what they mean when they show us the stars during the wedding. As Vasishta and Arundhati, they show us during the wedding because of this reason, sir.
Very nice, Bhagini. And also, only thing is, you guys should claim that hey, smaller one is Vasishta and the bigger one is Arundhati. That's all.
When you are complimentary, sir, it doesn't matter.
You are too kind.
Matter, sir.
Well said. You're too kind.
Nice lady. No, I think when you get your respect, you give respect.
All right, Bhagini. All right. Vandana Varye. So Mr. Rao will be very happy with all your outlook. Okay. So nice point by Vandana Bhagini. I am going to cross check about this whether celestially also we know them to be binary stars. We will check that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're sure of that?
Yes, sir. That is sure, sir.
Yes.
That is.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is why we have shown that during the wedding, sir.
Thanks, Bhagini. Thanks. Thus, a
Sir, I
teacher.
have a photograph of Arundhati and taken in the evening one day from, I am staying in Delhi. So I took the photograph of Arundhati in front of Vasishtha.
Oh my God. In Delhi, you are even able to watch the stars. Very nice, Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Evening sometimes.
Okay. Okay. I hope it was not a spark from a fire of the farmland. Okay. Sorry for being so polemic, but in Bengaluru, we hardly look for the stars in the sky. We have to go to outskirts in the villages. Okay. All right. Thus, a teacher teaches what is easy for a student to grasp first and then proceeds to the more difficult ones. For example, while pointing out the distant places on the world map, the same procedure is followed. Okay, fine. Guddarika Pravaha Nyayah. Guddarika Pravaha Nyayah. Dirgha. Gaddarika. Samhita. Guddarika. Gaddarika. Not Ganka. Gaddarika. See here, very clear. Gaddarika. Okay. Gaddarika. 1 minute. Gaddarika Pravaha. I was getting an echo. Gaddarika Pravaha Nyayah. Gaddarika is a flock of sheep. Okay. The sheep always move in a group. If the sheep in front falls into a pit, then one behind it is also sure to fall. This maxim, I'm not sure that that is so much true, but anyway, this maxim, animals are smarter than human beings. This maxim is quoted when a person blindly copies another and ends up in trouble. Okay, especially not these cute Gaddarika. All are babies here. Anyway. So Gaddarika Pravaha Nyaya. Pravaha means the group movement type thing.
Sir, there is a similar, say, Nyaya in Malayalam. Mumbai Gemichidina Govudande. That is, all the cows follow the cow which goes in front.
Oh, you use it for cows. Okay.
In Gujarat.
இது ஆட்டு வந்த கூட்டம் சொல்ல ஒண்ணு வாத்து கூட்டம் மாதிரி அப்படிம்பா தமிழ்ல.
No, even in case of wildebeest, it happens.
Wildebeest, they fall into the mouths of the waiting makaras like that. Correct. Wildebeest.
Yeah.
They are in huge number though. In case of wildebeest, they are in such huge numbers. After a while, their vision is
thousands.
blocked. They are in millions. Yeah.
Or isn't this the herd mentality?
Yes, herd mentality. Very good. The closest English phrase that fits very well is herd mentality. Correct. Very nice. Okay, so here I forgot I have Vasishtha and Arundhati in good times. Nice. And of course Nandini. Our famous Nandini, who was there in Parichaya Pata, if you guys remember. Okay. All right. So, Sangrahya Vishayaha, collectible items. Shloka to be recited in the evening before going to sleep. Ramam Skandam Hanumantam Vainateyam Vrikodaram Shayane Yahsmaren Nityam Duhswapnastasya Nashyati. Ramam Skandam Hanumantam Vainateyam Vrikodaram Shayane Yahsmaren Nityam Duhswapnastasya Nashyati. So, the bad dream of the one who regularly and daily remembers at the time of sleep the idol, Rama, idol in the sense of the ideal that times. Rama, Skanda, Hanuman, and Vainateya and Vrikodara. These 5. Okay. Of course, some of them are Paryaya, if you know, that is basically Rama, Kumaraswamy. Skanda is, you know, basically Shanmukha, Subramanya, Kumaraswamy. So Shanmukha, that one, son of Shiva. Then Hanuman, whom we all know very well. Garuda, the
Vinata's son.
Vainateya, Vinuta's son Vainateya. Very good. Bhima and Bhima, Vrikodara, one who has the stomach of a wolf. Pavam. Okay, will not get bad dreams. Okay, nice one. So Ramam, Skandam, Hanumantam, Vainateyam,
What is the explanation
Vrikodaram.
for Bhima you said so?
Vrikodaram. Vrikasya udaram yasya saha vrikodarah tam vrikodaram. So Vrika is wolf. Wolf, we say eat like a wolf is also a phrase used. Wolf, you know what it does, because it is a weaker of the many hunting animals. It's a pack hunter and also is in pack. Each wolf takes as much of the flesh and the bones as possible into its stomach without bothering to what you call try to bite it too much. Yeah, and doesn't work on chewing too much. It believes in just getting it to its stomach. It has extremely acidic stomachs. Okay, the stomach can digest the bones also. Same with even. Yeah. So Baka is another Pakshi anyway. That's why Vrika is known as a fast eater and Bhima also as a fast eater. So he's called Vrikodara. Poor chap, not a very complimentary name. Sorry.
Like whatever he gets, he will eat. It is like that.
But remember also the Vrikas do this because actually they go back to their den and regurgitate the eaten half digested meat for the weaker and the children of the den. Okay, the protector and the children and the weakers of the den. So they are not completely selfish in that. Okay, they're just selfish for their pack.
They bring out.
They're also
whatever they have taken.
One moment. The lady first.
Whatever they ate to distribute to the younger ones.
Yes. They at the hunting site, the instinct is to keep as much for the pack as possible, not for its own stomach. Okay. And so because very quickly another larger lion or something may come by. So they do that, and then as a pack they head back to the den. Those that didn't get to eat will actually take part from the regurgitated portion near the den, as well as the youngsters there. Okay. You should look at the whole cycle to understand that psychology. They're extremely good pack animals. They take care of each other. Okay.
And that's the reason they're not pot-bellied like others, sir. Wolf is also. That's why wolf, they say actually they digest their food and regurgitate the other. That's why they're not at all fat. They're always trim and can hunt.
You don't see any hunting animal that is unnecessarily fat. Only vegetarians like Gajar can develop stomachs. But if you know the vegetarian stomach being large is also part of their digestive need. Their digestive needs, yeah. Because grass is very low calorie. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Okay. So in a way, it is complementary to Bhima that he could digest the food all he ate. Not many people can eat that. They can have gluttony, but they won't be able to digest.
No, he was muscular big. He was not pot-bellied, certainly. He was muscular.
In one of the Ramakrishna Ashram's books on Mahabharata, this is what is said. Vrikodara is because he could eat and digest and still have a healthy, fit body. So the wolf, that is one of the wolf's capabilities.
High metabolism.
Correct. High metabolism. Correct. Okay. So requesting God to forgive us. Karacharana kritam vak Vakkayajam karmajam va Shravananayanajam va Manasam va paradham Viditam aviditam va Sarvametat kshamasva Jaya Jaya Karunabdhe Sri Mahadeva Shambho. Obviously, this one can be sung beautifully if you know the exact raga to use with the meter. Are there any Bhaginis who know how to sing
Yes, sir.
this?
I know, sir.
Sai bhajans also it
I
comes.
also know, sir.
Chandravariya, sing it correctly. Yes.
Karacharana kritam va Kwayajam karmajam va Sravananayanajam va Manasam va paradham Viditam va Sarvametakshmasva Jaya Jaya Karunabdhe Sri Mahadeva Shambho Sri Mahadeva Shambho.
Wow.
Excellent.
Very
nice. Excellent.
Beautiful.
Very
Bhagini.
nice.
Very melodious.
Yes.
Can you sing once more?
See, in this, she repeat the last pada half, how nicely you bring down. So it's a beautiful. Yeah. Thanks, Bhagini. Beautiful.
Can you listen to her once more, sir?
Once more, Bhagini. Demand.
Please.
Sir, can I sing, sir?
Wait.
Both of you sing.
May I again? Karacharana kritam va Kwayacham karmajam va Ravananayanajam va Manasam va paradham Viditam aviditam va Sarvametakshmasva Jaya Jaya Karunabdhe Sri Mahadeva Shambho Sri Mahadeva Shambho. Dhanyawadaha.
Nice. Thanks, everyone. Several of you sang that. Very nice. Okay.
Burgess can put it in.
Yeah,
Bhagini,
somebody can put the audio on the WhatsApp. If
Oh,
they
yes,
can.
sir.
Offline,
Thank you.
they
Put it
can.
in the audio, sir.
Yeah, you can put it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we'll enjoy. So, Karacharana Kritam Vakayajam Karmajam Va. Here there is no Va, there is a Vak. Okay, that's okay. Sometimes when we sing, a Va comes out there. Karacharana Kritam, that which is done by the feet. Okay, we'll take the meaning here. Okay, so see, O Lord Shambhu, Mahadeva, be victorious. Okay, ocean of kindness, Karunabdhe. Okay, please forgive all my faults, whether it is done with hands or feet. Hands or feet is Karacharana Kritam. Okay, whether by speech, Vakkritam. Okay, body, Kayajam. Okay, action or action, Karmajam. Okay, so any sin or fault that may have been done with my hand, with my feet, with my voice or my mouth, in that sense by speech or by my body or by my action. Okay, all that is listed beautifully there, any of those. And then continues, Shravana Nayanajam, either by me listening to the sinful thing, enjoying a sinful thing, or by meaning something with my or looking at something that is sinful and in an accepting and joyful manner. Nayanajamva, Manasamva, even in the thought. Okay, Aparadham. See how beautiful that list is. Okay, any of this. Okay, Viditam, Aviditam va, knowingly or unknowingly, even extending even further, knowingly or unknowingly, whether any of these are done. Sarvam etat kshamasva. All these things, please kindly excuse me. Of course, the karma phala we have to eat, but we can be having the kshama bhava at least. Jaya Jaya Karunabdhe Sri Mahadeva Shambho. So then, after praying, we are doing Jayakara to Shambho. Okay, so he is being named as Karunabdhi, one who is the ocean of kindness. So, Sambodhana, oh ocean of kindness, victory to you, like that. Nice. All right. The universities, seats of education of ancient India and the places where they were situated. Takshashila, Ujjaini, Saranath, Nalanda, Kanchi, still there today. Navadvipa, Vallabhi, Gunashila. Of course, Kanchi definitely for Shaivites Matha, it is still it continuing well. I don't know how much of the education institutes are running well. I pray and hope that that's also happening. Okay. For example, for us in Karnataka, the Sringeri, which is another Shankara Matha, is doing excellent work for Shastra and Samskrita and all that. That's another good place. Kanchi is also, I'm sure, maintaining that. Okay, so nice places. So I have a artist visualization of Takshashila. There are lots of stories. Some of them were actually Hindu/Buddhist universities. Okay, so Buddhism was not actually, when it was deeply practiced, it was not some distinct thing apart from Hinduism. It was actually a different, like we say, a sect of Hinduism type thing. Later on, yes, we call them as Nastika Darshana. It was one of the Darshanas, but a Nastika, that they didn't pick up the Veda as the Pramana, but many of their beliefs were very closely mapped to how Vedantic views were. Nothing new there, but they would not try to accept any Vedantic texts or a Veda as their source. They believed that their own independent thought is the source and their own Buddha is the originator. Buddha himself never claimed to be a Buddhist. He only claimed to be a knowledgeable person of the Dharma. That's all.
For one doubt.
Huh.
Buddhism is atheistic.
Buddhism doesn't believe in Vedic Pramana. Okay.
God.
And Buddhism doesn't actually directly worship God.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Agnostic. We call it.
It is agnostic. Yes.
Jain as well as Buddhism, both do not believe in God.
Both do not source from the Vedas as Pramana. Okay?
It's not that they don't believe in God. They don't care whether there is God or not. There can be a God, but I don't care.
Very good. I think that's why the Varya said agnostic, not Gnostic.
It's not a religion. It is a way of life, not a religion to be followed. Buddhism.
Okay, that we can. That is a lot of word argument that nowadays happens with both Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and it's okay. We are part of it, so we don't have to worry whether it is way of life or it is religion. It is fine.
Sir, is there a God in Buddhism?
No.
We don't see any.
No God. But by worshipping Buddha, they are creating one.
That is right.
So it's all symbolism, Varya.
Yeah, right.
Whether we want to elevate that symbolism to heaven or keep it on earth is the variation. That's all.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So anyway, interesting fact about Takshashila is the entrance was so difficult. Okay. The entrance exam, this entrance exam was conducted in this place, right? We're right next to the steps there. The entrance exam was so difficult. Outside, many colleges sprung up to teach you so that you can get entrance in Takshashila.
Coaching centers.
Coaching centers.
Like Kota.
Like Kota.
To get admitted in IITs.
Yes, exactly. So nothing new there. So it's an interesting fact. Bhairappa talks about it in his book. Anyway.
I just interject.
Yes, Varya.
In the Dasha avatar, we have a Buddha avatar also. So you could, say that Buddhism is a part of Hinduism.
See, look, one thing. The Dashavatara inclusion of Buddha is a more recent enlisting. If you go back to the Puranas, which predated Buddhism also, many of them, there is no reference to Buddha as an avatara. Okay.
Buddha is not an avatar, sir.
Both arguments are there, Bhagini. Let us not even fight over it. Okay. Yeah, both arguments are there. So we will not try to conclude on it. But Mohanji is right. Many Hindus believe Buddha is an avatar. Yes.
But then he will figure in Mahabharata, Bhagavata and all that. He doesn't.
He doesn't, but he does figure in some of the later Sanskrit granthas.
That is addition later. Like,
sir, what is addition? Sanskrit granthas emerged over thousands of or many millennia. Why should we exclude the past few millennia?
Recent
Few centuries we can excuse, but before that we should not. Recent few centuries also excellent works have happened. But some of these grammar Vakarana movements were advanced movements have happened in the recent few centuries. So we cannot negate them. Nor, for example, you take the case of Vijayanagara Empire, Sayana Acharya, right? Sayana was greatly important for retaining many Vedic texts with through his commentaries and all that. Okay, so the Dvaita Paddhati, if you know the Vidyaranya, all of them have played a great role in rewriting, retaining, and reintroducing many lost things for us. So we are thankful to everybody. Okay.
Sir, only thing is recent additions may not be with the same noble intention. The purpose could be secular or even political. Like Sabrimala, Ayyappa and all that, it doesn't figure in Mahabharata. It may have been a democratization of God.
Sure. I don't disagree, but Hinduism was never frozen. That also we should accept.
That's right.
Anything that we freeze is not good. Anyway, so let us come back and do this exercise quickly and then move on to the next lesson. So take your break. It's 12:12. So by 12:16 or so, let us gather back after a nice water break. Okay, and then we'll continue for another 20 minutes. Thank you. Sorry, I got delayed a bit. Okay, so let us do the few questions at the end of this chapter. Visheshyam drishtva shatrantani rupani parishkuruta. So looking at the Visheshya, clean out the Shatranta forms. Okay, so Shatrantas are Visheshanas. So that which it's associated with is the Visheshya. Okay, so clean up whatever is wrong. Kridantyah vidyarthinihi iti asti. So क्रीडन्तीः विद्यार्थिनीः इति करणीयम्. अत्र प्रोटोटैप् दत्तमस्ति. पठन्ति, पठन्त्यौ, पठन्त्यः स्त्रीलिङ्गरूपाणाम् एव फोकस् अस्ति अत्र. तो just for also additional examples, denuhu, denu, denavah, I have given ukaranta strilinga shabda just as an example, just to know some variations, etc. Okay, so actually, whether it is in Dvitiya Vibhakti, etc., how we will know, that is a little tough only, using just a pair piece like this, the way they have given. Okay. If you remember, Vidyarthini Shabda is Vidyarthini, Vidyarthinyau, Vidyarthinyah. Tadanantaram it becomes in Dvitiya Bahuvachana, Vidyarthinihi, like that. So, to recognize what is happening, you need to really know your tables very well, and then identify that this is in Prathama, this is in Dvitiya, so they should take to Dvitiya. So Kridantyah in Dvitiya will become Kridantihi, so I have to switch it to Kridantihi. All that prakriya has happened. How will that happen? If you know how Vidyarthini Shabda declines, only you can get to there. Okay, if we believe, oh, Vidyarthinihi itself is Prathama Bahuvachana form, we don't see anything wrong here. Kridanti, Kridantyah, Vidyarthin. So, but it is Vidyarthinyah. That's how it would have been. Okay. So, Shrunvatyaha Mantrinyai is given. Okay. Shrunvatyaha Mantrinyai. Shrunvatyaha is obviously the Shatranta. Whether that is accurate, we need to check. Mantrinyai.
Shrunvatyai,
Shrunvatyai.
Just like Patantyai, Shrunvatyai. Shrunvatyai. Oh, Nakarahana, Shrunvatyai. Kshamyatam. Shrunvatyai. Nakarahana asti. Astu. Mantrinyai. Chaturthi ekavachana. Smarantyaha Bhaginihi.
स्मरन्ति
पंचमे एकवचन
द्वितीय बहुवचन
Bhaginihi iti Dvitiya Bahuvachanam iti Bhaginya Uktam. So Smarantihi Bhaginihi Dvitiya Bahuvachana. Okay. Sometimes we are see what happens to our brain. Smarantyaha sounds like Shashti. So we think this should be corrected to Shashti. Okay, guys who need to answer have to unmute. I think the Mahodaya didn't realize he was unmuted. That's okay. Prahavan, so don't correct the Nadi Shabda, correct the Shatranta, because the question is Shatrantani Parishkuruta, not Visheshyam Parishkuruta. Okay, Visheshyam Drishtva Shatrantani Parishkuruta iti. So Prahavantyaha Nadyam should be kept Nadyam. Okay.
Pravahantyam nadyam dvitiya ekvachana.
This has to be taken to Saptami. Pravahantyam nadyam Saptami ekavachana. Okay. Likantihi mataraha. Matru Shabda, do you remember? Mata, Mataro, Mataraha. So Bahuvachana Pratama. Likantihi becomes?
Likantyaha.
Likantyaha.
Likantyaha mataraha.
Oh, Mata, Mataro, Mataraha. Matara. Actually, I don't know why I have written Shashti here. It's Pratama Ekavachana only.
Pratama ekavachana.
This is
Pratama Bahuvachana, sir.
Pratama Bahuvachana, Shameta. This is incorrect. 1 minute. Just give me a second. Correct it so that for future it. Okay. Next, dhavantyai balikaya. Balikaya is correct. So balikaya is what?
Tritiya ekavachana.
Tritiya ekavachana. So
Bhavantya.
Bhavantya balikaya.
Well done. Dhyavantyai is bahuvachana tritiya. So here we have to go back to sorry, Dhyavantyai is
Chaturthi
Chaturthi ekavachana. We have to switch to Tritiya ekavachana. Dhavantya. So switch over from 4.1 to 3.1. All right. So that was a good exercise. Not easy. Not easy. Very easy to make mistakes there, but over time I think we can improve. प्रथमवाक्यस्य आधारेण द्वितीयवाक्ये स्थितानि रिक्तस्थानानि पूरयत. Using the reference of the first sentence, correct, fill the gap in the second sentence. Okay, so let us see an example. Taha gachantyah santi. They are going. Gachantihi taha ahvaya. So they are stating some fact, and using that fact in a shatranta, they have extended the sentence to something new. So they are going. Those ladies that are going, invite them. Okay, so karma pada position 2.3 has been applied. Okay, tam te taha dvitiya bahuvachana taha. So gachantihi, patantihi. So gachantihi. Those that are going, those ladies that are going, those all, invite them, like that, some directive. Okay. Etaha kridantyah santi. These ladies are playing. Okay. So kridantyah prathama bahuvachana.
क्रीडन्तीः एताः पश्य.
एताः सूचय.
Yeah, karma pada. We have to shift it to karma position. Okay, just like earlier it shifted to karma position for ahvana. Here for suchana they switch to karma position. So 2.3. Kridantihi etaha suchaya. Denavah charantyah santi.
Charantihi dhenuhu.
Pashya. Well done. Denuhu. I have the reference here. Denuhu. So it's not an easy declension. Dhenu. Let us do one reading just for our own memory. Dhenuhu, dhenu, dhenavah, dhenum, dhenu, dhenuhu, dhenva, dhenubhyam, dhenubih, dhenvai, dhenubhyam, dhenubhyah, dhenvaha, dhenubhyam, dhenubhyah, dhenvaha, dhenvoh, dhenunam, dhenvam, dhenvoh, dhenushu. Okay, nice. Dhenavah charantya santi. So charantihi dhenuhu pashya. Again, dvitiya bahuvachana. All of them are karma in this second half. Okay. Grihinyah jalpantyah santi.
Jalpantihi grihinihi
Smaraya. Here it shows santi only. Smaraya.
All are plural, correct. All are plural. So jalpantihi grihinihi smaraya. This is a good exercise, except everywhere it is prathama to dvitiya, so it's becoming a little easy. They could construct little more complicated sentence on this side, but it's not all. It's okay. Balikaah nrityantyah santi.
Nrityantihi balikaah
jnapaya.
Nrityantihi balikaah jnapaya. Again, dvitiya bahuvachana. I stopped annotating. Vidyartinyah likhantyah santi.
Likhantihi vidyarthinihi
ma pedaya.
No natva. The thakara stops the natva. Okay. Vidyartinihi ityeva. Okay. Likhantihi vidyarthinihi ma pidaya. Don't trouble the lady students who are writing. All of them are good sentences. Anvaya rachanam likata. So this you guys have to do at home. Saha mahan. See, Anvaya Rachana need not be for always a shloka. Any sentence also requires Anvaya if it is all out of order. Okay. So Saha mahan shabdaha jananam hridayani vedaret. It happens to be little bit part of translation of one Bhagavad Gita verse only. So how would you write it in better order is how you have to go about. So go with Akanksha Paddhati. Okay, so what is the Kriya Pada? Vyadarayat. Okay, so write that. Okay, and then say who, Veda, so karta, karma, like that one by one you extract. Okay, so you guys have to do that. Okay, you can do it at home. So let us conclude lesson 6. Good, we have done that now itself. So now we'll
Sir, can you please say what is the meaning of Vyadharya?
Breaking.
Rent.
Rent
We
the
saw
heart.
just yesterday. To tear, to break. Yeah, that sense. I mean, doesn't physically mean tearing. It dukkha introduces dukkha into the heart, or bhaya into the heart. That sense. Okay.
Sir, sir, in Anvaya Rachana, we are seeing all those questions of the tabular form, etc. But nowhere we are writing in that the constructed sentence again. No, you see in the book or in
No,
the...
I have tried to. That's why I added additional text to write the Anvaya Vakya. But that is almost very easy after all that process, right?
So that has to be written, no? Finally.
Yeah. It will be nice in the exam. You write that Anvita Vakya also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, good practice. I try to do it in my slides. I try to write a color annotated sentence in the end for that reason.
In the book, it is not given. That is why.
Yeah, some places it is given. Most places it is not given. I agree. But it's easy enough. After the Akanksha Paddhati list, it is easy enough to write that sentence. Okay. Good habit to write it always. Good beginning. And always there isn't like one form of that, because usually karta, karma, kriya, that is one base order. Karta first, karma next, kriya third, like that. But then some of the possessors will go behind the possessed, and then visheshana, vishesha, pairing, all those things you have to follow. But some of the other vibhaktis, if you put tritiya first and then chaturthi, or chaturthi first and tritiya, you have to check whether it makes sense this order or that order. From your own mother tongues, you realize that. Okay, that's all.
Sir, these will be only of the verses from the first chapter of Gita.
The question paper for Anvaya will focus on wherever Anvaya section. That means Bhagavad Gita verses only will be the focus. Okay. They try not to trouble you with something totally strange asking you to do Anvaya. Okay. Not in the Patrachara exams. But as you move to the more advanced exams, they will not restrict themselves to only that which is there. Okay. They may give any random new Subhashitam and ask you to do Anvaya, Tatparya, etc. But in Patrachara exams, they avoid that. Okay. They stick to the book.
But if you, without questions, if you write straight away Anvaya like Parichaya exam, it is wrong, sir.
Nothing wrong. You can put the question number correctly and do it, but take your 2 minutes to write the original verse as is. Nothing. Let us not what you call take too much shortcut. Okay. Let me say this, Bhagini. I have corrected hundreds of answer sheets. Some people try to finish off the whole answer in the 4 sheets that the in the one single sheet. They don't give additional sheet. I think they may give one, or they may not send in the post. Okay, they will send the answer sheet. Only 4 sides will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. One is already half filled with name and others. Some students finish off the whole exam in that sheet. Okay, and you can imagine my trouble correcting them. I don't even have space to mark them. Okay, but some are brilliant. They do a good job in the 4 sheets. I should not. I actually appreciate their forethought. They are very mindful not to waste paper, so they try to say, let me fit what I need to say in this sheet and finish off. They do it. Some go on and on and on. They write only one side, then they use some 20 additional sheets, and on and on. There also you feel frustrated. Why are they wasting so much paper like that? Okay, but some are very smart. They do in between job. They use the original nicely, then attach a couple of answer sheets and go. Okay. Generally, if you write the original verse again, that's a good habit. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
when are the Parichaya results expected, sir?
All the exams, Parichaya, Pravesha, everything is on the last week of February. Last Sunday.
I'm asking when is the exam day? When are the results of? Oh, we got it already. Okay. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Oh, Oh, that came quite a while back.
That's why we are in this class. But that's why we're in this class. I didn't realize that. Okay, sir. Thank
Sir,
you.
in this earlier slide, Saha Mahan Shabdah Jananam Hridayani Vedarayat, that order Anvaya Rachana is already correct only, no?
Let me go there. Now that you guys are having so many questions about that simple question, I think I shouldn't have skipped over that. Let's try to look at it. Okay, that means even if it means afternoon only, we start the next lesson. That's okay. See, Anvaya Rachanam Likata. Okay, this also can be a proper order. I am not arguing that it is not a proper order. Okay. At least what they are expecting you is to do the Akanksha set for this. Okay, so you can say Kriya Padam Vyadarayat, Kani Vyadarayat, Hridayani Vyadarayat, Kesham Hridayani, Jananam Hridayani, Kaha Vyadarayat, Shabdah Vyadarayat. So Jananam Hridayani, this is the karma actually. Maybe I should have gone with Kaha Vyadarayat, Shabdah Vyadarayat. Okay.
Fine.
Sir?
Both the sentences, the order is okay. We have to do the questioning and the correct procedure. That's all.
Yeah. They are expecting you to do the procedure. See, actually, page number 234. Let us see what they write. Yeah, they have done that. You see, you can't even complain. Go to page 234, last section. In the section 3, they have done the work beautifully. Vyadarayat kriya padam kaha vyadarayat saha vyadarayat saha kaha shabdah kidrishaha shabdah mahan shabdah. Beautifully done there. Okay, you're expected to just do that work. That's all. Okay.
They have not written the prose order, sir. Prose order they have not written.
You write, it's almost like some Bhagini said that order is not wrong. What is there on the screen is acceptable. See, Saha Mahan Shabdaha. So Shabdaha and Saha, you can go together. You can argue whether Shabdaha should be the Visheshya. I would look at Karta as Shabdaha prominently. So Shabdaha Karta, its Visheshana is Mahan. It's another Visheshana, or you can say Sarvanama Visheshana is Saha. So Saha Mahan Shabdaha is already in the correct order as Karta in the first place. Next Karma Pada is there, Hridayani. Its Visheshana, its Sambandha, Jananam is there behind it. Vyadarayat is there in the end. Nothing is there to change there. So you can rewrite it if you wish. What is expected is, are you understanding the relationship? So go with the Akanksha Paddhati. That's all.
Same for the next also.
Next also is quite fine. Ramaha, Bhimam, Uttamam, Katham, Katayat. None of us want to change that order at all. It's perfectly fine. So idea is now identifying.
Anvaya Rachana, when we always think that it is jumbled and we have to change it. It is not necessarily so.
In verses that is true. In verses that is true, but the intermediate exercise of identifying the components of the sentence and extracting the relationships is the expectation in the answer. Okay?
Sir?
But second one we can say Ramaha Uttamam Katham Bhimam Akadayat. Like that.
You can put Bhimam little later also. Correct. See, Dvikarmaka. Dvikarmaka. See, again, this is a Dvikarmaka. Katha is one karma pada, Bhima is another karma pada. Bhima is one type of karma pada, who is the recipient of the kathana. Katha itself is the subject of the kathana, but both are different types of karma pada. It's a Dvikarmaka. Yes, another Bhagini had a question.
Sir, it's me, Monas.
Please.
Sir, you had explained Vyadarayat, what is the meaning, but I was not able to comprehend it. So if you could kindly just repeat, sir.
Yes,
Vyadarayat.
Sure. Actually, if you just the previous class, we got a verse in the Anvaya where we encountered it. So it happens to come again. So this is what it means. That huge sound, the hearts of the people, it splintered, that sense. Okay. Here the splintering is not physical splintering. It introduced fear in their hearts. That sense. Okay.
Basically like throb,
shake, rent. Correct. Yes.
Tore the hearts.
Tore.
So it is breaking into pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean physically, not physically.
But I think the meaning of this in the
All right, sir. Thank
Gita
you.
Pravesha is given as Akhandayata or something.
Possible in another context, but in the context that we are talking about Hridaya, we should not take it that far.
That's right.
You had explained it as V plus Adarayat.
Correct. There is actually a end there. Vipasarga V plus Adarayat. अस्तु तो अद्य समाप्तिघोषणं कुर्मः प्रातःकालस्य कक्ष्यायाः पुनः इदानीं भोजनं स्वीकृत्य मध्याह्ने 3 पुनः आगच्छन्तु पुनः पठामः तत्र सप्तमः पाठात् प्रारम्भं कुर्मः अस्तु वा
Thank you, sir.
नमस्ते
Thank you, sir.
धन्यवादाः सर्वेभ्यः